Go over here to getting healthy. You know, we love technology when it's all simple. So, can you hear me okay?
I hear you, but hopefully everyone out in the world gets to hear Lisa today. So this is
There
gonna
we
be fun.
go. Yeah, I think we got it shared over there. On getting healthy. Hello, Susan.
Hey, this is fun.
Yes, I had so much fun today looking through our pictures of all the things that we have. Um, Seeing if that's showing. There we are. We are on there. So, hey guys, Lisa Stewart here, and had a couple of technical difficulties, but you know what? That's just what we do. Obstacles are the way, and we just work through it and make it happen. So, if you guys can see this, and will you just comment like where you live, where you're coming from, just so we can see who's on here, make sure it is definitely, you know, week one. We get all the stuff that could go wrong. And, you know, I did a little praying over the computer a little bit ago because I was like, not today, Satan. You ain't taking us down. So I am super excited, you guys. When God put this on my heart to do, of course, the first thing was, who is my first guest? You know, and I had several people say, who do you want your first guest to be? And it wasn't even a question. It was like, you know what? This page is called Getting Healthy. And the reason it is because this lady here is my actual health coach. So she's the one that keeps me accountable. She's the one I check in with, because you know what? We all need friends, but we all need accountability partners, and we all need people to say, hey, you said this was your goal, let's do it. So this is Susan Labelle from Portland, Oregon.
Hey, friends.
Yeah, so Susan, I know if you guys missed it on my my personal page, I shared, and even on here in the stories, I shared Susan a photo. I want you to start, just I'll let you talk about everything here, but one thing I really want you to talk about is that photo, because so many people, when they think getting healthy, it's losing weight, it's a diet, it's this. We want to talk, and that's what our whole platform's about, is getting healthy in all areas of our lives. So can you start by telling us how that
Sure.
worked for you?
Sure. Well, hey everyone. Thank you, Lisa. I feel honored that like you chose me to be able to be here today. You have impacted thousands of lives, and so it's just been a blessing to be like part of your dream. You know what I mean? And help you build what you guys are creating. So yeah, you know, it's so funny about that picture is I get so many people being like, "What? You gained weight?" Like, because we have given so much power to a scale, some inanimate object that sits on our floor, and especially us women, we will look at that and we give so much power to this number when really it's just our relationship to gravity, right? That's all a scale is. But I've been on this journey for a little over 10 years, and I remember making the decision to get healthy. I was inspired by all these people in my life. Like, I had these babies at home, and I felt like they all deserved better of me. But I think the decision I made is that, and I kind of this voice speak over me that, like, yes, they deserve it, but Susan, like, you deserve it. Like, and there's this level of like, I deserve to be healthy for me first. And that was going to allow me to show up better for every person in my life. So the picture you see where I gained weight and my body shape changed is actually a difference of 7 years. Like, I lost, you know, body fat, but then it's just been about the daily consistency and then working through other areas of health. And I kind of ditched the scale and, like, you know, like, called it a liar, and just every day started working on things like our financial health, our emotional health, my emotional management, you know, and finding more fulfilling relationships and learning to fuel my body well and listen to my body, and more time in meditation and listening to myself. You know, it's just, I was craving learning and craving community, and that is just a reflection, like, of what it looks like when I see people's bodies that maybe don't look the way they want it to. It's just a sign that life's a little out of balance for them, right? And as we sort out all the healthy mind and the other pieces, our bodies start showing up maybe in a way that we want. It's not the other way around. So that's kind of been my journey.
And I love that. And how long ago did you had two little kids when you started on this
Yeah.
journey? You were working full time as a dental hygienist.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy, you know. So that was it. I had no time, I had no money, and like
Two little
like
kids.
as broke as a joke. Yeah, and no health. Like it was, I mean, to be broken down, I should say, in all those areas of life. So it was a little over 10 years ago, and like I said, it was really just a decision. But I think what was different about this than anything I had done was the accountability. Like there was something in me that's always wanted more like meaningful and purposeful work. I was in healthcare because I wanted to help people, and then this was like, oh, this is healthcare. This was actually caring for people to create health in their lives. And so being able to find an avenue where I could serve people like made my heart sing. Like there's been nothing better than being able to serve people. And you came into our world about 3 years into that decision. I think we met like officially met on a beach in Aruba. We've traveled the world together. It's been a lot of fun. But finding people like you with that same desire to want to make an impact in our lives and serve at a higher level. I mean, you were the right people from the moment, because and I'm going to put you a little on the spot actually, because I remember meeting you, and you guys own like a day spa, and you had a boutique, and you owned multiple real estate offices, and you were like successful, right? Like what people would deem as successful. And then wanting to not only look to get healthy, but create like a new way of freedom for you. Can you like share with, because this is your first Tuesday talk, so people are getting to know Lisa and Gary here. What was it for you that was that shift in like wanting to choose health and this path to serve people?
You know, it was a time in my life when it was hectic, it was crazy. And yes, we owned all those things and we were doing all the things. And our youngest of three kids had just moved out, became an empty nester, and found myself 60 pounds overweight. And, you know, I was very confident and I did my job. I did all the stuff, but I was ready for more. I wanted to feel good because I saw some pictures of myself, and I had just got home from Cabo from All Inclusive, and I wasn't happy with the photos. In fact, there wasn't a whole lot of photos left. In fact, Cindy, if you're on here, Cindy, my friend, was with me who took the pictures. And as she knows, they were either deleted or very few were kept because they were cropped. You know, it was like, yeah, no. I remember before I went to that trip, buying extra large shorts that were just stretchy fit on and an oversized black dressy top, thinking if I did that and wore some big jewelry and a scarf, and that I was hiding behind all that. I had a lot of jewelry. I laugh now that I finally wear jewelry again, because I went through a season I wouldn't wear jewelry because for so many years I hid behind my jewelry. I hid behind my scarves. And I think that's, as women, we do that. You know, we have things that happen in life, you know, whether it's becoming an empty nester or other tragic things at the time in our life that we hide and we turn to, whether it's food, alcohol, or whatever. And finding your program was a lifesaver for me. I lost the 60 pounds in 5 months, and that was in July. It'd be 7 years. Can you believe that? Crazy. So that's how we got started as far as, and then for me, everyone, when you feel good, you want everyone to feel good, no matter what it is. And that was for me. You know, my heart, I love helping people. I love whatever it is. And I was able to help thousands of people through the years get healthy. And not only that, my passion is to help people make money. In fact, that's kind of why I started the businesses I did. And I've helped so many realtors get started and do stuff, because you know what? The only people that don't like talking about money are people that don't have money. And I like talking about money because I love helping people make money. And that was honestly what started it all. And it kind of snowballed over the years. In May, it'd be 4 years, I closed my real estate office. So that was huge. I walked away from an office that did very well. in a community that did very well, and chose to do this full time. And it's just grown since then. But it all stems because you said yes to getting healthy 10 years ago.
Oh, it's so fun. And it was through a friend of a friend of a friend. And what I love is, I mean, what we get to do, right? Because we are partners here, is we get to partner with people's dreams. And there's somewhere along the line we forget to dream. And health is kind of this on ramp where like the clouds lift and the oceans part, and we start going, wait a minute, this is who I am. This is who I'm designed to be. I'm meant for more, and I want to do all these great things in my life. And so being able to have a vehicle to create that. So hearing your guys' dreams of wanting to spend, like I fell in love with what you and Gary wanted to create in the world years ago. Like meeting you guys and going, we want to spend half our time with our grandkids in Arizona, and half, we want to get rid of all the stuff that's, anchoring us down, and we want to expand. And then the mission you guys have to serve in Cabo and your heart there. And I do want you to share to that. But before we do that, actually, why'd you choose? I'm just curious because, like there's a lot of stuff out there, and like you and I both have not only just lost weight, but we've kept it off. We're losing the mental baggage. Why'd you choose Optavia? Like of all options are out there.
I'm probably one that has tried it all. I think everything I did was legal. Don't hold me to that. There was time, I remember ordering stuff from Canada. I did it all. I've tried it all. I've been to the doctor. I did it. And so when a friend said, hey, we're doing this, I'm in, I'm like, I'm in with you. Because one, I had accountability friends. I had friends doing it with me. So that was my biggest draw. But more than that, I saw the results immediately. I lost 15 pounds that first month. And I always tell people, they ask me, is it easy? And it's like, you know what? I don't care what you're doing. Any kind of change is not easy. Is it simple? Yes. So I was super busy. I didn't have time to do all the go in the grocery store and read every ingredient in that time in my life. And so for me, results across the board is, I'm willing to try things. I've hired trainers and not got results. I've did it all. But a lot of it was the community is huge. Having, like yourself, keep me accountable, send me messages. Hey, how you doing? Especially when you get started, someone that is in it with you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, I haven't had to like slap a bagel out of your hand or anything like that. It's not really what we do as coaches, but I think when you got awakened to like, okay, there's so much more. You want to help people. You were helping them buy houses, but you weren't transforming lives. And when we started to chat about, in what way do you want to transform lives? Like, how do you want to show up in the world? I think the question becomes of all of us. And so I don't know who's listening, but the big question is, what do you want to exchange your life's energy for? Like at the end of your life, like what do you want your life's energy to be exchanged for? Like we all can put something into the world. What do we want to like leave as our mark and our legacy? And you have this like epiphany of like, I got all this brick and mortar, but like I'd sell it tomorrow to have this. So I'd love for you to share like what's next for you and Gary, because we're watching the impact you're making down in Cabo and the partnerships you're making, how you're using Optavia as a vehicle to be able to go serve people at a bigger level, and how you want more people to come along with you, like to help them build their dreams. Like what's the big dream here?
I think it all kind of stemmed from, as far as starting even this online and doing this is, we did start coming to Arizona. And to be honest, when you move from a community to a community, yes, we know our kids and grandkids are here. We have some other family here, but all my friends were back in Oregon. And so the first year I was very content because I was a grinder for the last 30 years doing work. And so then all of a sudden it's like, I can breathe. I don't have to do anything. And then, after a year, it was like, okay, it's time for me to get to work. Even though I was doing this business, it wasn't, there was more to do. And I realized the word content is a good word and a bad word. And so I was very content, which was good until it wasn't. which means I stayed content too long. And I see so many people doing that. And so over the last year, being down here, I said, you know, I'm lonely. I don't have a lot of friends here in Oregon or in Arizona. And when you're only here 6 months and half that time you're traveling and doing other stuff, trying to meet people, whether it's going to church or events or whatever. And I thought, if I'm having that, I know everyone else is dealing with that. We always say the garage door opener was the greatest and worst invention, because you know what? We all pull in our garages and we click the thing and the garage door shuts. So we don't even get to know our neighbors. And so this last year, God really put my word for the year, create, in my heart. And for me, what that looks like is I need to create what I'm missing. I need to create the community that I want. I need to create, whether it's online, whether it's my neighborhood, everything I want. And so it kind of started like that, and realizing how many other moms and people that just need someone to speak life over them and talk to them, and hey, you're having a bad day, I'm praying for you, or whatever, even if it's just online. That's the community I'm trying to create here, and talk all things health, because as you said, losing weight, getting healthy is one portion, but there's so much more. And then when it goes to Cabo, it's like, I was so thankful that I grew up with a family that loved to serve and do, but especially married into having a father-in-law that that's his number one legacy, is giving and doing in your own community, but outside the world, or outside the US. And so my dream for Cabo just kind of came through Cabo Mission for Christ, and found a community there that I'm able to serve. And actually I'm on the board of directors there now. And a lot of people always say, well, Lisa, you can't help everybody. You can't do this, you can't do that. And you see me a lot of times, I wear my starfish necklace. And I always tell people, what this reminds me of is there's a little boy that's walking along the shore, and there's millions of starfish out there. And he's grabbing them one by one and throwing back in the water. And this old man walks by and says, what are you doing? He goes, I'm saving them starfish. He goes, well, there's hundreds, there's millions of them here. You can't save them all. And he picks up one starfish and he throws it. And he picks up another and he goes, I made a difference to that one. I made a difference to that one. And so I think my hope and goal in life is to be known as, hopefully I'm making a difference, even if it's just in one person's life. And I wear this a lot just to remind myself that, sometimes, especially women, we get in our own heads at times and say, oh, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve this, whatever. And it's like, what if you could make a difference in one person's life? What if you could get out of your victim mentality and step out of your box to help one person? And that's kind of, whether it be someone local in your own community, whether it's going to Cabo with me and doing a serving community there.
Yeah. Well, I know you've made a difference in our lives. I think what's such a beautiful relationship is that there's reciprocal mentorship in what we do. Yes, I get the pleasure of Shane and I getting to work and mentor and coach you and Gary. But at the same time, I learn so much from people like you that are big thinkers, the impact and the thousands of people that you want to create. We get to come alongside and create it together, and help you really build that together. So it's such an honor, I feel like, for us to be able to link arms with people like you. For sure.
One of the things I love the best with our community and what we do is all of the support, but I never read books before. I never went to seminars before. And Optavia, through our company, we have so many good things that we offer that has made night and day difference in my life. And I know it has yours in personal development, personal growth. I always say, had I had all that 30 years ago when I started my first job in real estate, what a difference it would have made, just that alone. So I think one of my questions for you, Susan, because we're getting close to the 20 minutes, are you an audiobook or a actual book reader?
Definitely audio, but if it's really good, like, and I feel like, man, this is when I like want to highlight notes, then I buy the book. So I do have my library of my like go-tos for sure.
Love that. So, and for those that are on here, will you guys comment? Are you an audio book person or read an actual book person? Because that's kind of interesting. I never read books before. I'm a total audio book person. We do a lot of hiking and stuff, and so we go out and hike for hours. So I'll listen. Last week I listened to 2 books while I hiked. I turned them up faster and just speed through them. And so, what is one book that either changed your life or made the greatest impact in your life over the last few years?
Outside of the Bible, I will go with one book. There's been many, and it's really been like this season of what I'm like seeking, searching, and I love that question. But I think one book that I feel like really spoke to me and made a pivotal shift in my life was actually Dave Blanchard's book, Today I Begin a New Life. So we personally mentored with Dave, Shane and I did, and what I feel like I got so much is, I don't know if he speaks to the Augmentino principles, the greatest salesman of the world, and he breaks it down in stories. And I learn a lot through like stories and analogies. So he made it really like practical. It was actually one of the books I bought. Like I had in like my hands. But what he spoke into my heart with that book was like this thing I knew that was inside of me about seeking a life of purpose versus a life of ease. So it's like we seek maybe money thinking a life of ease, but you only can be on a yacht drinking like, you know, bubbly for so long before you're bored, right? So it's like that doesn't actually, your mind thinks that fantasy would be so fun, but really showing up every day and having like purpose and doing meaningful work and serving, like that was what my heart was wanting. And so he really spoke that difference of seeking that out. And then a lot of really great information on relationships and like how to authentically show up and intrinsically validate people, myself, my spouse. I just feel like it shifted everything for me, which actually sought us to seek out Dave and say, hey, you don't know us, like little over here in Portland, Oregon, but like, how do we work with you? Like, how can we learn your ways? So that is an incredible book.
Yeah, in fact, Gary and I have worked with Dave and Paul also, been tremendous. And I actually happen to have that book just sitting here.
Well, yeah. See, because it's like we just, you know, it's like teach the goods, right? I love it.
Just like you said, you can only sit on a yacht. I could only sit by my pool so many hours. And at the what's next? So, you know, what's next for Susan?
What's next for me?
I do have
a lot of things on my like in my passion zone right now. I think really speaking into the next generation as I'm raising teenagers and all the things we're learning, a lot of these principles on leadership and even just self leadership and like personal responsibility, I didn't even learn until my 30s. Like, where was I, right? Decades of wasted distraction. That's all I got to say. So to like learn, and I realized, you know, how many things, I mean, not that there still won't be obstacles in our life, but the ways that I could have navigated it could have looked so different had I had some tools and some resources and someone speaking life and truth over me. And so wanting to show up for that next generation, connecting them to service, because I find teens that, you know, they're talking about the suicide rates going way up. And to me, it's heartbreaking, but it's because they don't feel their lives matter. They don't know that their lives matter at that age, right? So to get connected to where they find that meaningful work at a young age and purpose, like how that can really shift. So working here locally in Portland, building that community, really serving at that level. There's some really cool things coming down the pike, but that's where how I want to give back with all the blessings we've had from Optavia.
I love that. I'm excited to watch that happen. Yeah. And you know, I always say healthy people are happy people. And so that's what we're trying to create here is a healthy community that are happy people that feel loved, that feel seen, heard, and valued. And that's my biggest goal. And so with that being said, if you guys commented and we don't see any of the comments right now because of the way we're on here. But if you guys comment in the comments, either that you like audiobook, and I'm not even sure if that has, I know he was working getting that in audiobook form. But if not, I will be sending this book. I actually have a couple of them. I'll be sending this book out to some lucky listener. If you will share, if you found value in today, if you know someone that next week would maybe appreciate, if you will share this video or share the page, invite people to come in next week. Every week I have a different guest that we're going to talk about all things health. I mean, from mental health to physical health to, I have some friends that have had breast implant illness and had removals. And so we're going to talk to those people. We're going to talk to people that, about morning routines, we have so much to talk about, things to help you succeed in life and feel part of a community that is with you. So hope you guys comment on here so we see you were on. And Susan, thank you so much. And
yeah, thanks for letting me like flip the script and kind of put it back on you, because I know your community really wants to meet you guys, because you guys are world changers and light bringers and like, you know, community starters. So awesome. And I love what you said about contentment. I was just like in my head thinking, you know, and this is me saying contentment is like, it's not, but it's not okay to be content. It's like good to be like unsatisfied. And that's what I see in you guys. Like, the people on the call are like, I'm unsatisfied where I'm at. I'm content, grateful, but I'm unsatisfied. Like I'm hungry. Go get me some.
It's the year. I always tell people, so it is the year 2.0 for 2020. It's time to rise up and let's take it.
Yeah.
And for some people, it just means showing up. And
every
that's
day, every day.
Susan and I always have to do our little peace sign. So have a great day, guys. I hope you found some value in this, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Here we go. Still recording.